In this video here, I would like to share with you basically the 5 books that helped me 10x my monthly income from being a factory worker to getting into fitness to moving overseas to work as an arborist, removalist, becoming a personal trainer, and then to really becoming an entrepreneur that I am today, working online, selling and creating and making products and that sort of thing. But more importantly, I will share with you the books that made me a high performance man that really just accelerate in his life, that don't take no for an answer, and that really just look at the world with a lens of positivity, opportunities, confidence, and conviction that I can create the dreams for myself. So the first book I wanted to share with you is The 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements got handled to me by kind of like a mentor role for me early on when I landed in Australia. It was a guy I met that really just said, you need to listen to this book. And the 4 Agreements really just comes down, I've written them down here. Inside the 4 Agreements, you have number 1, be impeccable with your words. Number 2, don't take anything personal. Number 3, don't make assumptions. And number 4, always do your best. And I think this is a very spiritual way or personal way of looking at how we're improving ourselves and how we're doing better. Being impeccable with your words, I think that is really just the building blocks of everything. Like, how do we create more self-awareness? How do we not put labels on ourselves and other people and really just limiting ourselves? One thing I really started to hear from other people, family members, but just people in general, it's like, oh, wow, this is really expensive. Wow, this is a lot of money. Wow, no. Wow, this is a lot of money. Just that one thing. Could you imagine you said that to yourself every single day and you said that to other people and everything you looked at was a lot of money? What do you think that will do to your ability to earn more money and get more money into your life? If it's a scarcity mindset you have around money and the way you're using the words around money. It can be anything. It can be, I'm a procrastinator. Like, I'm always just late to things. I never get things done. Like, I can't finish something. Be impeccable with your words. I think it's so crucial when you're trying to improve yourself, whether that is in business or in life in general. Like, really be careful and think about how you are using your words. Number 2 is don't take anything personal. I think that's a continuous learning in terms of, like, for every level, there's another level. I think we will always feel inadequate as we're moving up, as we're learning more, and as we're doing something. And I think that reminder is such a great reminder to, like, never ever take anything personal. Never. Whether someone says you look ugly, you got a big nose, you're slow, you're old, you're young, it's just a reflection of them, first of all. If you're making sure that you're not taking things into you, you can confront the things like, hey, I'm slow, I'm late. Take it for what it is. It's a correction in behavior, but it doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you a useless person. I always look at that. What's the difference in someone, let's just use it as an example. You have two people that are overweight. And I say to the one person, like, wow, you look fat. The one person get super depressed and very sad and very upset with the things that I'm saying to that person. And the other one just smiles and be like, oh, that's all right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, I could probably lose a couple of kilos. What is the difference? The difference is really just, did you take it personal? Is this a hurt thing inside you that needs to be solved, that needs to be fixed? And I think looking at it from what it is, it's just like, hey, if I'm getting upset, if I'm taking something personal, what is it that I need to correct right now so I'm no longer being affected by it? Is it a skill I need to develop? Is it a correction in my behavior? What do I need to do so I no longer feel this way? Because you can be out of shape and fat, but you can be doing something about it. You can be on your way. You can be correcting you. Then it's a very, very different thing. Okay, I'm on my way. I'm doing something towards it. So I think it's a great lens to look through. Like, don't take anything personal. The other aspect to it is don't make any assumptions. Don't make any assumptions around what things mean. Know thyself, as they say. Like, if you're assuming that whatever she said to you or he said to you means this is making an assumption. If you're assuming he or she will be on time, but you actually don't know, don't plan after it then. Know thyself and don't make any assumptions around what things means. And in particular, to what things means towards you. If she said something, does it mean red? Does it mean blue? Does it mean that I'm ugly? Does it mean that I'm fast? Does it mean I'm slow? Does it mean I'm bad at it? Don't make any assumptions because you don't know. You don't No. Number 4 in the book is really doing your best. Doing your best. Like I always had a thing with myself where I would like literally, the way you do something is the way you do everything. I believe in, it's like if you're late, you're always late, whatever, in traffic or to a meeting and that sort of thing. You will also show up late in the way you're finishing a task. You will also show up late in terms of like when you get out the door to have to do something. You will also show up late just in yourself, in your life, in your task, in your project, going after your dreams. It will show up as a trait in all areas of your life. It would always hit me, like, for example, when I was cleaning the apartment, I would literally just pour it under the couch and be like, yeah, that's clean, you know what I mean? And then the thought to myself just came, like, how you do something is how you do everything. How you do something is how you do everything. So I would like literally go back under the couch and then pick it up again, because I was like, always do your best, Simon. Always do it to your best ability, whether you don't like it or not. Do your best, because it will always serve you well. And doing your best meaning asking yourself the question, could I do this any better right now? Could I do this any more different right now? Could I put any more effort into this project right now? Into this product, into this video, into cleaning this room right now? Could I do any more right now to improve this current situation and current thing that I'm doing? If the answer is yes, do your best. The next book that really changed everything for me it's actually a program by Tony Robbins called The Personable Edge. I really got introduced to personal development through Tony Robbins back then, and I think a lot of people do that. What the Personal Edge program, you can just type it in on Google, and then you can probably buy it in from there still. It really just introduced me to my beliefs, my limiting beliefs around what I thought was true about me, past events that happened in my life, why they were hanging on, why every time I went into this situation, I started feeling a certain way. It really taught me a very sort of like interesting concept around like associations and how we are perceiving situations. It goes a little bit hand with what we talked about before with assumptions. One of the things that I worked on a lot when I was early on in my 20s is getting out of the drugs and what I was doing and really just getting rid of all the social anxiety that I was having. I still feel a lot of this social anxiety, and like, how do I get rid of it? How do I work on myself to no longer feel this certain situation? And that was really the thing that helped me tremendously to understand the automatic triggers we're having in our mind that really is just based around a belief, an association that was created earlier on. So one of the things that I had and dealt with a lot was when I'm sitting down at a table with a bunch of people and I'm suddenly becoming quiet and I don't know what to say, that would trigger a tremendous amount of stress and anxiety in my body. Like, what are they thinking? Like, am I not smart enough? Am I not funny enough? Like, I can't be myself. Like, I think a lot of us, like you maybe as well, have experienced that and felt that to a certain degree. I would like feel that trigger every single time. I'm like, I don't want to go there because I'm probably going to feel this way. I don't want to go out to those people because I'm probably going to feel that way. That program and that book, The Ultimate Edge, really helped me change my associations around being quiet around the table, going out and meeting new people, really just getting me to see things in a very different way. I changed my association around me feeling anxious and insecure being around this table right now to me changing the association to like, hey, what am I learning from this? This is good to be uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable and feeling a bit on edge and anxious is great, because that means, Simon, that you're in a situation right now where you're learning, like at least there, you're in the field right now, you're doing something about it. So by doing that, like working on myself in that way for that program, it really started helping me free up a lot of things, a lot of regrets and a lot of grudges I was holding from my childhood and these sort of things, to really just start changing my limiting belief around what I thought was possible for me and how I really just looked at uncomfortable situations. And that is really what set me free in many ways, The third book is The 10X Rule. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone has really, not just his book, but everything that he's done has really in some way, shape or form changed the way that I'm looking at life. And I think we should all have throughout the years. We all have different mentors and different people that we're listening to. But his book and his work have really changed my way because, number one, he has the same background as me. His dad died. My dad didn't die. So he was with his mothers and his family members early on. He got introduced into drug when he was 16. He went into rehab. He cleaned himself up. He went out, got a job as a salesman. And then he really just developed that discipline and built that business from that standpoint. And I see myself in a lot of those things. So the concept behind the 10x rule is really just whatever you're thinking, you got to multiply that by 10. So whatever goal you have right now, you want to earn $100,000 a year, times that times 10. Money is just a great indicator. Like sometimes it's really not just about doing 10 times more, because you can't be like, hey, I want a body fat percentage of 10. You can't 10x that. But then you're looking at the processes. Like how many things do I need to do to get to 10% body fat? How much more effort do I need to put into that? Same thing with money. You know what I mean? Like what does it really take for me to make that amount of money? How many phone calls do I need to make? So if I think I need to make 100, you need to figure out a way to make 1,000. Well, I can't make 1,000 phone calls myself. So I'm like, okay, great. Then you are now introduced to next level problems. And that is really the concept of the 10x rule, is like expand your mind, because then the problems would follow. He said, if you're just thinking about the next little step, hey, I need to go from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. First of all, it doesn't excite you. It doesn't get you juiced up about actually wanting to do it. And second of all, like it doesn't introduce new problems. You're just going to get stuck in that mechanical thing of like, I'm going to do it myself. It's just going to be like, I can sort it out like one step at a time. Where instead, if you're blowing it out and be like, hey, I'm going to go from 100 to 1,000,000, you're now introduced to a whole new thing. I need to build a team. I need to maybe scale up my products. I need to do things in a very different way. What are the personal development I need to learn in order to do that? And that in a nutshell is giving you that juice and that excitement. The other thing around it is just like having this relentless mindset to just becoming more and doing more with your life. Apologize for yourself. Maybe a 1%er want to accelerate and want to do something. You know what I mean? Like really just finding peace with you being different, finding peace with you going all out, finding peace with you not doing and feeling and being like everybody else. That book and that man's work have really changed a lot of that for me. Number 4 is Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson. And the reason why this book have really changed everything for me from an entrepreneurial standpoint is because what he really breaks down inside this book is how you're first of all packaging, learning how to sell your knowledge and your service to other people. But more importantly, the one thing that stuck out for me was how to create a movement of other people that follow along with you, want to push in the same direction. And he's talking a lot about Christianity and religions and build around that one character, that interesting character. People want to be around, people want to be like, people want to follow. And then them having a sort of like a common ground around, hey, we want to change the world for X. We want to save the planet for this. We want to do this. We want to help 1 billion people becoming healthy. Like they're all moving towards that same thing. And then obviously the third aspect to it is like it's done in a different way that people haven't seen before. So you have the interesting character, you have the mass movement, and then you have the opportunity vehicle, like the new opportunity people are jumping into. What's a new opportunity vehicle? It could be Tesla, it could be Amazon, it could be Apple, it could be McDonald's back then. You know, when it's an interesting thing that basically takes people out from, hey, I thought getting healthy and the only way to get healthy is to starve myself and do cardio, or maybe I can try an Atkins diet, or I can try a keto diet, or maybe I can do intermittent fasting. Like they're locked in on a certain way of trying to get to this outcome. But then someone comes along, they're super healthy, super fit, very relaxed around it, still eat some cakes here and there and pizza and burger over there. And then they explain about, hey, this is not about limitations. This is about how you're timing your food. This is about how you're working out, how you're working smarter instead of harder. This is how you're stimulating muscle growth, so your muscle growth can increase your resting metabolism. So your resting metabolism and your muscle mass actually starts to burn fat while you are sleeping. Then someone's going to be like, oh, wow, that sounds very interesting. That sounds very different. That sounds like a new opportunity for me to actually get to this goal that I was working on before, but I was working over here and not really seeing the results that I wanted to. I'm just using that as an example. So he's basically changed the frame that I'm looking at business in, that it's like people need to feel like they belong somewhere. People need to feel like they're in a universe of its own. It's like we're all together. We're going on this mission together. This is why you see these mass movements become a reality. And this is really what I learned from Expert Secrets. The fifth book that I want to put out there is Obstacle is the Way with Ryan. And the reason why this book is a great reminder and a great book to pick up, literally just listen to it on repeat, is because it talks about obviously the obstacle is the way. Your challenge, your thing you're going through right now is the way for you to get out of there. Is the ticket for you to become a better man. What's the saying there? Like tough people creates good times creates soft people creates bad times creates good people. It really just comes down to that aspect of like everything is a season in life. Everything you're going through through right now, whether you want it or not, it's a season of life. And it's something that's there to show you a different way of doing it. Either you're prepared for it, you weren't prepared for it, you got slapped in the face, you got fat, you got out of shape, and you now need to change. Your physical health impacted your money impacted your family and your relationships, and that even just full circle back to you becoming more unhealthy. It was there to show you something. So this book there, if you pick that one up, it will just show you and give you a different perspective of how crazy things people have gone through throughout times and what beautiful, beautiful, amazing achievements and accomplishment that came as a result of this tough time, this tough challenge. So really just play that with yourself. Everything you're going through right now as a challenge is a building block for the person you're about to become. The character traits that you're developing in this process right now of doing better for yourself. The challenge, what are they saying in the book? Never waste a good challenge. Never waste a good recession when they're talking about business. Never waste a good obstacle for you to sink your teeth into and really start learning from. I've always said to myself, when is this getting hard? Not that we want it, we don't want it to be uncertain and freaking scary and stuff, but I always said that to myself, when is this getting hard? And I've been through certain situations right now that really make me look at this is tough right now. This is challenging. This is scary. I could lose everything right now. It's been these thoughts that are coming in. But I'm also telling you, it made me look at a much deeper level into what is the solution, what is the permanent solution, where did I lose track, where did I stop looking, where did I stop doing the necessary things. And I got that lesson with me for the rest of my life right now, that no matter what, I'm never going to go back to that point again, okay? Because I'm well equipped right now to get myself out of that, but I'm also well equipped to never let myself get back into that track again. This is really the 5 books that changed it for me from a money-making standpoint, but more so from a high-performance standpoint. Personal development, perspective, mentorship, mindset shifts. Really just everything under the sun in order for you to become a better man. Enjoy. So if you like this video, hit the like button below. Remember to subscribe and follow along. You can also follow me on my social media on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn. The main platform that I'm on is Instagram. You can find me over there on Simon Thomsen, SimonThomsen. I'll see you in the next video.